Welcome in, everybody. It is Tuesday night, which means it's Tuesday night, the Fantasy Cheat Sheet presented by Going for Two Live. We are here to talk AFC and NFC North previews. But before that, we got to hit the intro. All right, what is up, everyone? Like I said, it's the Fantasy Cheat Sheet, but this is the first show we have had with the new four-man crew. Jordan is back. I know he was back taking over for me helping me last week, but we got the four-man crew. This is the crew you're going to see. What is up, fellas? Jamie, how's it going this evening?
So I have a confession I got to make, something I did very, very bad. I drafted Alexander Madison today. Yeah, I'm in this JTT Cup. It's like the UK version of Scott Fish Bowl. It's only 10 teams. I was in the 24th round, and I was looking who's there, and Madison kind of popped out at me, so I pushed a button on him. It felt gross, but 24th round, I don't mind.
Let's just get past you because it's Go, Jordan.
I understand your allegiance to the Madison hate. So, I commend you on coming and being forthright in what happened in the transgressions of drafting him. But with the 24th round, I mean, he is a backup running back. So, that's in the 24th round, no shame in that.
So, Jordan, how's your weekend been, day going, however you want to say it?
Like I said off camera, it's just been Olympic-centric. Watched basketball earlier today, been watching everything. So I'm locked into that, but I'm ready to talk some fantasy football with y'all.
Oh, yeah. And Reggie, what is up, my Californian man?
Everything's good on this side. I see Jamie over there get around like Tupac. He talking about the UK version of, we just not going to mention that, of the Scott Fish. Man, thanks for putting me on. I got my research people working on that. Everything's going great.
Hey, I just got done. So I just got done with the draft that I was the only American and everyone else was from Australia.
Okay, you get around too. Okay.
Yeah, I need to step my game up.
Yeah,
I mean, we know who it is. Jamie, you know who it is. It's the beard. It's Dan. I mean, you know the beard. All right, everyone. We're doing AFC and NFC North previews. I did that partially because this is my first show with Jordan, and his team is the Packers. So that just happens to mean that I have to do Jamie's team as well. But I figured it was a perfect start to the division previews, which we will go through for all the divisions. But before that, we got to get into the news. First, there was a little bit of injury news today. Roman Wilson was taken off the field with an ankle injury. I'm just going to do it. Jamie, how are you feeling?
We still got time.
Okay, I just had to.
I'm not going to worry about it.
I'm not worried about it either yet, but we'll just have to see and monitor it. Jordan, no big deal, right? Or what do you got?
No, not yet. Like Jamie said, it's too far away from the season to worry.
Yeah, exactly. So I will start with you on this one, Jordan, because I am just going to say it. Jordan Love, we are going to talk about the Packers later, but this is big. Jordan Love got paid after only 1 year as a starter. He is the overall number one paid quarterback, third overall for yearly. Jordan, I have to ask you, deserved, not deserved? Because you hear it all over the place.
So honestly, I don't. It's a weird situation because I think he deserved to get paid. That's just what you have to do when you have a guy that you've seen produce. Like the reason why it's a small sample size and they were pressed up against the clock is because they let him sit for 3 years, and they didn't have much time to see anything else. We should have let him play that Rodgers last season when we wasn't going to make the playoffs, even though we made that run and lost to Detroit in week 18. They should have given him a chance then so they had a bigger sample size to kind of figure out what they had in him. But overall, I mean, this is what you have to pay a quarterback. Like Trevor Lawrence, he got paid much more. Tua got his – we were going to talk about Tua, but Tua got his bag as well. But, yeah, it's a weird situation because I don't I wouldn't necessarily say it was deserved yet because he hasn't done enough, but it makes sense that he got paid.
So Reggie, what do you think about Jordan Love getting paid?
I think he they did it right. They put the recipe in place, let him sit. I think they were wise, and they got a bunch of young studs right now on rookie contracts, and now is the time to do it. I would like to ask everybody for the Steelers, go look at that depth chart. It's not a big deal, but I should have looked at that depth chart a while ago. Everybody look at the Steelers depth chart, wide receiver wise, and then come on back to the cheat sheet. But Love deserved that contract, I think.
Oh yeah. All right. So the next contract we're going to talk about is Tua. Tua also got paid. I'm trying to figure out his official numbers real quick. I had it, but my phone decided to be a pain in the butt. Hold on real quick. Tua new contract. So Tua's new contract was 4 years, $212,167 million guaranteed. Reggie. Now, this is one that I really want to discuss, and I really want Jamie's point of view on this one. Was this the next man up kind of deal? Did he even deserve this? I know this is right. I've heard people say, oh, he deserved more than T-Law, or he deserved this more than Love. What I want to know, did he deserve this contract, and what does this do for Miami going forward?
Well, I'm like a diehard Dolphin fan. Don't tell no Raiders. No tell no Raiders. I think it was just that they was doing what their back is up against the wall. Their win now window. I think they had to do something now, or the price tag was just going to go up. And I don't know how they'll be able to, because they're playing Tyreek, they're paying Waddle. I guess that's all they're going to throw to. They're paying. We need O-line help, but I guess it's deserving. He done slimmed up. He ain't chunky butt no more. Hopefully, he can play in cold weather.
Yeah, one more question for you, since you are the fan, before I throw it to Jamie. Do you think, as a Dolphins fan, he is the answer at that position for the future of your team?
Yes. With what's surrounding him right now.
Okay. Jamie, does he deserve more money than Jordan Love? I saved you for last on purpose. I did this on purpose.
It's kind of hard to say. I'm going to say no. I think Jordan Love actually deserves more money than Tua. But I do like what Mahomes said. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah.
Says, I'm not getting paid enough now.
Oh, yeah. I don't like him saying that because that scares me now. No, I mean, it is what. So I'm just going to sum it up for both of them. I had this argument on another show last Friday night, Jamie, so you know where I'm going. Somebody on that show who is a Giants fan but does not like Trevor Lawrence was adamant that they both should get paid. They both should get paid more than Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence hasn't done anything to deserve what he got paid, even though I try to use a next man up mentality and this and that. Then he tried to say that Tua deserved this compared to Love, and his reasoning was that Love has done it and Tua hasn't. I said, what? Love has got him to the championship, and that was the defense. Not saying Love didn't do anything against the Cowboys, but I'm like, that was also the defense. Love still needs to do more, but I do believe they both deserve it. It is that next man up mentality. I have no problem with this. Even like you said, Jamie, the whole thing of, oh, Mahomes isn't paid enough, that whatever. That's just how the NFL works. Money's going to keep going up. Salary caps are going to keep going up. But when salary caps keep going up, the QB is that number one position, so it's just going to be. So before we get into the show, there's one more piece of news. We'll go around real quick on this one. DJ Moore got paid today. 4 years. I have it right here. DJ Moore, 4 years, $110 million, 82 guaranteed. Real quick around the horn, and then we'll get into the show. Jamie, does he deserve $82 million guaranteed and $110 overall?
So where does that put him on the list now?
I don't. Let's see.
I mean, it's good that they signed him. Now he's going to be locked in with Caleb and Odunze. So that's going to be a scary trio there.
And that's an extension, right? So wasn't he already under contract through this season?
He had one more year.
Okay.
Like, I think this was his final year on the contract.
Oh.
Jordan, what do you think? While I'm looking up what his
I'm looking at some of the comparable guys. I mean, Jalen Waddle total value was 84 mil, 76 guarantee. I mean, he's done more than him. Tyreek 120 with, I mean, he's not on that level, but I think he slots in somewhere in between those two guys. And I think that makes sense. I mean, playing in Chicago, Justin Fields hasn't been Patrick Mahomes. The Bears and even in Carolina, he didn't get the best quarterback play, and he did the best with what he was given. So yeah, I definitely think he's worth that money for them.
Reggie, what do you think?
I think he deserves it. I think they did the right thing. They got a wide receiver on their rookie contract. They got a high caliber quarterback, they hope, in Caleb Williams. They just married DJ Moore with Caleb Williams for the entirety of his rookie contract. That was a good move by the Bears.
Absolutely. And I was going to give a little bit of more insight on my side, but you guys kind of nailed it, especially you just nailed what I was thinking, Reggie, about the rookie contract. Jamie, after looking at the list of where he lines up with everyone, I got one question for you, and you got to be truthful on this. Who deserves more money, DJ Moore, Amari Cooper?
I got to say DJ Moore. Honestly,
yeah, he's making it. Amari got 100 and Amari is at 100. Amari's at 100 total. So yeah, he's making more than Amari. He's in between Amari and Tyreek, like Jordan mentioned Tyreek, but he's in between Amari.
He's 3 years younger than Amari.
Yeah, Amari's at 20. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Amari's good. Amari's starting. You don't think about it, but Amari's, like, I was listening to another pod this morning. They were saying that, like, they traded for Amari off of somebody we'll bring up tonight. And it was brought up, like, yeah, it was old player for older player. And I'm like, wait, what? Then when you looked at it, Amari's actually older than you kind of forget that he's actually played, because he started when he was younger, too. So he's been in the league a lot longer than we thought. All right, so let's get into the main part of the show, everybody. Reggie brought this up to me. I've heard Jeff say it over and over, so he does it on his armchair. Sometimes division previews get boring, especially the ones that break down a whole team in 45 minutes. Those I can't watch anymore. I can't listen to those anymore. So the way we do division previews on the cheat sheet, we just come up with a couple different takes per team. Now that we have a 4-man show, we just assign teams, and we're going to do it that way. So, Jamie, who is your first team, and who is your first take? And then I will ask questions out of that.
Yes, the Cleveland Browns, obviously. First take is going to be on Amari Cooper. I think he's undervalued. I know last year he finished, wide receiver 17 in PPR, and in half PPR he was, I think, wide receiver 14. Right now, he's going around wide receiver 23 in drafts. I've even seen him go past that, like wide receiver 27, I think was the lowest. And that's criminally underrated. So that'd be in the 4th round. Like, I'm happy taking him right there in the 4th. I know Watson targeted him last year when they played together frequently. He had a wide receiver 10 finish, wide receiver 4, and a wide receiver 18 finish with Watson. So you can't say it was Flacco throwing the ball. No, Watson threw him the ball too. But besides him, I'm not targeting any of the other receivers. Jerry Jeudy, I'm out on at his ADP. Elijah Moore is not even draftable this year. I'm going to wait till next year when he's on another team. Maybe he will at that point. But, yep, it's just Amari Cooper. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't want anybody else. I tried to get in on Jared Jeudy. He is cheap, considering. but I'm not sold on it. Yeah, I mean, tight end wise, you can go get Njoku. He's going to be good for them. But wide receiver wise, no, I'm not really looking for anybody but Amari Cooper. And for that price point that he's at, I think it's good. I'm more worried about Deshaun Watson now overall, but I would take the chance on Amari Cooper where he's going.
Yeah, because Judy's going around like the Dotsons, the Wicks, Michael Wilson. I'd rather have those guys over Judy all day.
Yeah,
for sure.
So Reggie, my question, because now that I know everyone well enough, I know everyone's outlook on fantasy a little more. Reggie, what would you, if you had to pick, buy, sell, or hold on Cooper himself? What are you doing in fantasy and why?
I am buying for dynasty, for redraft. If redraft, I'm buying.
But I'm asking you for dynasty real quick. And then
okay. Ooh, thank you. I was trying to switch the brain.
Because I know you play a lot of dynasty. That's why.
Yeah. Just getting into, I think, 2 more weeks before you start drafting redrafts. But I haven't drafted any in dynasty, but I'm around the range he's going. I'm always on something else. I'm on a different hype when Amari Cooper is there, and it's the age. And I have to revisit because I didn't realize the pace of play for the Browns is top 5. Like they get a lot of plays in.
I know it's that high.
Yeah, I am going to have to revisit that. That's what counts. How many targets does somebody get? Depends on how many plays that team is running. So, you guys make a good case.
All right, Jamie. This is the one I'm interested in. Go ahead.
My next one is the Chubb versus Ford ADP. If you've been drafting right now, they're going almost identical, same spot, like back to back. Even I've seen it. For me, I know Chubb's questionable. I do like him there over Ford. I wouldn't touch Ford this year at all. I heard this stat from JJ Zacharyson. I think it was from 2011. It goes back that running backs with over 100 carries, Ford was in the bottom 15 for positive yard gains. Yeah. So that's crazy, man. So without the volume, Ford, I don't think is going to get much value. Chubb, I'm willing to take a risk on him that late. But other than that, you could even wait until round 18, 19 and get Devontae Foreman over Ford. Because I don't think it's going to be the Ford show when Chubb's out.
All right, so I'm going to go first real quick because there's one thing I want to bring up, and then I'll throw it to one of you guys. I am all in on Devontae Foreman. Not saying going way high or anything like that. But I think I've done with the Scott Fishbowl satellites and some of the other ones I've done. I think I've done about 10. I'm not like Jamie. But I think I did like 10 underdog best balls, and I think I have them in. I think I have 50%. Jamie, I think I have like 50 or 60% freaking late round freaking on him. I just drafted him in a best ball league with some buddies. I did that. I got him there. The league that I just told you guys earlier that I did with, I was the only American. There were some Australian guys in the draft. It was a 23 rounder. I got Foreman in that. I'm worried about Chubb coming back. And like you said, Jamie, I heard the episode that JJ said that, and that kind of shocked me about Ford, about the efficiency since 2011. So I just think that Foreman could do something. He's one of those guys that just does something everywhere he goes. Jordan, what do you think?
I have not been taking any interest in Foreman at all. I've really been one of the people who has been kind of looking at Jerome Ford as someone who could handle a little bit of that work when Chubb is out. Because he finished the season averaging 4 yards a carry. I know it wasn't – so he had some splash plays that kind of made up for that. But overall, I thought that he didn't do a terrible job filling in.
Yeah, a lot of those points came from his receptions, and Watson does not throw to the running backs
that much. That's true as well. And like you said, Dante Foreman does produce in every team he goes to, even when you don't want him to. And it wouldn't surprise me if he does well here. But I definitely think Jerome Ford is going to get another chance to produce. He's been in the offense. He's been there. And like I say, he didn't do terrible in that role. I'd like for him to get that first crack. Now, if he comes out the gate, if Chubb misses time and he comes out the gate inefficient, it wouldn't surprise me to see Foreman take those carries or get the majority of the carries moving forward. But Ford will still be useful. But with the ADP that Foreman has right now and the potential for what he can do, he seems like he might be a better value long-term, depending on how long Chubb is out.
Yeah, in that draft that I drafted Madison, Foreman went 2 picks ahead of him. So I was targeting Foreman. So who would you rather have, Madison or Foreman?
Oh, yeah, I don't. I'm done on Alexander. I'm not as bad as you. I'm not as bad as you, but I'm done with Alexander Madison.
Yeah. All right, so that's one team, and that's one team in the lovely state of Ohio. Yeah,
I think that offensive line and that personnel and the amount of pace that they're going to run, I've shifted over to Pierre Strong being the Kareem Hunt to Jerome Ford. So I had to throw that in there. I can't quit him.
Yeah. So Jordan, that was one team in Ohio, and we're talking running backs. I know you want to bring about running backs up about the other team in Ohio, and this is right up my alley. Hardcore from the discussions we had about our draft. So go ahead, sir.
So last year, as you guys know, Joe Mixon was like my guy. I talk a lot about Mixon in the Bengals offense. Obviously, he's gone. He's out of there, and now Zach Moss steps in. I'm not going to say he's not as good as Joe Mixon, in my opinion. I don't think he's going to get the same amount of work that Mixon is getting. However, you can get a guy RB29. Like Mixon was producing at top 12 levels. Like I said, Moss won't get that workload, but the investment is low. You can get him when he has played and got an opportunity. He produced at a high level. He did it in Indianapolis. With the Bills, it was a hit or miss, but he showed flashes. But I just think they're going to continue to run the ball. Joe Burrow started throwing it much more to his running backs. Like Mixon's receptions went up the last couple of years, so the opportunities are going to be there. And then also Chase Brown is also someone that I'm looking at. You want to have a piece of the Bengals backfield. I feel like no matter who's the starter per se, they're going to provide value out of that backfield. Chase Brown is going as RB42. If you can, I mean, me personally, I'm trying to get both of them to make sure that I have whoever's the starter out of that backfield, because I know it's going to produce numbers. But getting 2 guys who can give you top 24 weeks consistently at those price points, I think you gotta take the chance with both of them.
Reggie, what do you think about the Bengals backfield in general?
I think it's a great opportunity to have because they're going to score a lot of points. The O-line isn't the best, but they got so many weapons, and that offense is elite.
Jamie, go ahead real quick.
I'm targeting both. Moss is the one that I'd rather have. We seen him last year, had like 20, 30 fantasy point games when he was covering for Jonathan Taylor. If it's full PPR, I might debate Chase, but no, I'm still going Moss.
All right. I'm just going to plant my flag right here. Zach Moss, Zach Moss, Zach Moss, Zach Moss, Zach Moss. Okay. I get the whole Chase Brown thing. There's all this talk, he's getting run in practice and blah, blah, blah. Just like Reggie said before we got on air, and we said a little bit, about this time of the year. It's training camp talk. I honestly think the Chase Brown talk of him running with the ones and that is pure training camp talk. Like Jamie brought up, Zach Moss, when Jonathan Taylor was out, proved he can handle a workload. I 100% agree with what Jordan said about I don't think he's going to get as much workload as Mixon did. I am all in on Mixon this year. We will get to that in another show. But I was not on the Mixon train last year, and you know that. But I think it's the offense. But with him, with Moss, I think they're going to not rush. I think they're going to take a little bit of workload off of Joe Burrow to keep him healthy. They can't have what happened last year. They can't keep getting him. He needs to stay healthy. So I think the running game is going to be important. I think they're going to pass out of the running game, partially because, like you said, Reggie, the O-line is not the best in the league. Yes, they've shorted up, but they still could use some help. So, Jordan, what is your next take on the Cincinnati Bengals?
So, like Reggie said, a lot of everybody's great in training camp time, especially early on. And there is an opportunity to be had in the Bengals offense with the number 3 receiver. Obviously, right now, Jamar Chase is in a bucket hat on the sidelines because he wants a new contract. So right now, I can't even pronounce this guy's name, so forgive me. But Andre
Yoshivas.
Yes, there you go. He has been making a lot of plays in camp. He's a pretty big guy. I think he's like 6'3", runs a 4.4 40. He's gonna take that Tyler. Well, he's looking to take that Tyler Boyd role. It's either him or Trenton Irwin kind of competing for that spot. I mean, Irwin's like 6'2", but the other guy is a younger guy, more athletic guy, more explosive guy, and he's been. Zach Taylor has been kind of complimenting him so far. I know it's still early, but if he is able to win that role outright and gets those Tyler Boyd snaps, he wasn't on the radar for me at all until like recently. But at the price that he's at right now, that could be a really good deep pick in the draft.
All right, so I am going to pick 2 people to get against each other because I think I know where Reggie is going on this one. Reggie, real quick, Andre.
Yeah,
right? You're Andre, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you him?
Yeah, I will be for the exercise. Okay. And how dare you, Jordan, not mention Hakeem Butler? How?
Okay, Hakeem Butler. No. Let me take it over. I'm the host right now. That you had your chance last week, and you ruined it by mentioning Hakeem freaking Butler.
Damn it!
This is what I want to do real quick. No, this is what I want to do real quick. Jordan set it up for me. I wasn't going to do this. I was going to throw it to both of you, but I am going to do devil's advocate here.
Okay,
Reggie, when it's your turn, you get to give a take on why Andre, however you say his last name, should be the WR3. Jamie, I'm not even going to say who it is, but when it's your turn, you give a take on why your guy should be WR3, and you know who I'm talking about. Right? You know who I'm talking about, right?
I believe so. I don't know if I agree.
I thought you did agree.
Kind of. Okay. There's a little bit of a twist.
Okay. Well, I'll go. Then give your twist. Jamie, you go first.
So I was talking Jermaine Burton, right?
Absolutely.
So, I don't know if he could play the slot. That's the only issue. He hasn't really played a lot of slot. So I don't know who the third wide receiver is going to be. It could be a mix of like what you said, that Irwin guy, but it also could be Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones played last year. He was a 4th round pick they got last year. So who's to say he's the odd man out? They might just switch him up. Like, who knows? But no, Burton is definitely going to be the 3rd in targets. I don't know where he's going to be playing on the field, but I do love me some Burton, though.
I know, so do I. That's why I just had to throw it to you because I knew you were going.
Yeah.
This is something me and you have actually agreed on all spring.
If Higgins gets injured or Chase gets injured, like I think Burton can step right in and just take over those targets.
Okay, Reggie. Andre Ishivas. I'm letting you talk about him because I know you've talked about him a little bit before.
Yes. I just like that he's been given a chance. Like Jordan said, Jamar Chase is holding in, so there's reps to be had. He's probably making the most of his chance because he feels skirned in a certain way, possibly because they went out and drafted a stud. So he's just trying to get the most out of every rep that he can get. And I think he fits that style of play, the kind of role that Tyler Boyd had. I think he can be the closest one-to-one fit for that role. I don't think he's the better athlete because Jermaine Burton is a beast. And I think if I was coaching on that staff, I would bring Burton along slowly to maintain and manage that tag he has of having a bad attitude. Coaches will break a player to build a player up and keep things in check. And that's just something coaches do. And I can see that becoming a thing just to keep him grounded.
Yeah, so my take on this one is pretty simple. I brought it up before with you, Reggie, when you brought up Andre a month or so ago. Burton, I absolutely love, but I don't love Burton for 2024. I agree with you, Jamie. I wish he could play, like, he doesn't play that slot role very well. I honestly... I know we've brought this up in the past, Jordan, like even when you were still around the first, around before you took your sabbatical, that I didn't think T. Higgins was going to be on the team in 2024. I thought that last year. I didn't think he was going to be on the team at all. So that's one of the reasons I was all in on Burton. So when he did sign the franchise, it kind of changed my tune. But overall, I do think it could be Andre if something was to happen, like you brought up, Jamie, if one of the two gets hurt or who knows what happens with this hold in, whatever you want to call it. And I think they're going to use Irwin a lot with the new kick rules. So you never know what could happen with the offense. All I know about this offense and the two topics that Jordan brought up are the two topics you should bring up in the sense of high powered and it's going to score some points. So there was a high-powered offense last year. It's taken a little bit of a hit this year with losing a couple players. Reggie, what is your first take on the Minnesota Vikings?
We're going to start at the RB values I feel that's to be had, and that's in the running back room. Aaron Jones coming over and what I believe to be a one-year deal. And Aaron Jones has always had played in a Batman and Robin kind of environment where he never has been a true bell cow. And we seem to have forgotten that. And we have Ty Chandler just sitting there at a very reasonable price. And Aaron Jones is known to miss time from time to time or just leave games earlier than expected. So I think that we're passing up and not taking consideration the weapons that this team have on almost all three levels, especially when Hockenson comes back. And they don't have no defense. They're going to be in a lot of shootouts, especially against Jordan's Green Bay, revenge game narrative. So I just think that we're not taking consideration what Ty Chandler might be season long, and especially if something happens to good old AJ.
All right, Jordan, you know what question I'm about to ask you, being a Packers fan. What do you think about Mr. Aaron Jones on that team and the situation?
I was honestly hoping that Ty Chandler would have gotten his chance before the season started. And then when Jones signed there, I think he didn't really have – I don't know if he had that many places that, were willing to give him what he got. It's only a one-year deal, but he's going to get his opportunities. He's going to be able to be productive when he's healthy. It's just a matter of how long he's going to be healthy. He kind of reminds me a little bit of like the way Dalvin Cook would kind of get banged up in the midst of a game, leave a couple times. He may come back, he may not. And I think that he's 29 years old, I believe now. So like he's passing that threshold of, those running backs where you want him to be. It's good that they signed him to a one-year deal. Obviously, Chandler's going to get his opportunities. Overall, though, I would rather have Chandler at his value than where a lot of people are drafted Aaron Jones right now.
All right, Jamie. Jordan took the words out of my mouth. Who would you rather have at the value yourself?
I find myself drafting a lot of Ty Chandler where he's going.
I knew it. That's why I knew. I just had this gut feeling. The way you are with Vikings. No, it's you and the Vikings running backs. You were all Ty Chandler because of no Madison. Now you're all Chandler again.
So I'm looking right now. I'm in a draft. So it's Ty Chandler, Marshawn Lloyd, Rico Dowdle, Tyler Algier. So second running backs that could have value. But Chandler, he could have standalone value. He can get you like a 10-point game every here and there, just as your flex. But last year there was a game he did get 80% of the snaps, and he had over 24 fantasy points. I think it was like number 4 or 5 on the week. So if Jones does get hurt, I mean, that's going to shoot Chandler up to like definitely an RB2 play that has that RB1 upside.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say other than what you guys have already brought up. It's an interesting factor. I was kind of bummed. I didn't think that was the right spot for Jones, like a lot of people did, but I didn't. Let's just say the whole Jones, Packers, that situation has been weird for a couple of years, and we knew something could happen.
Right.
So
he was the first person to sign. Like as soon as they could sign or announce it, they was like all on it. Like it was a premeditated signing.
All right, Reggie. Let's not take 20 minutes on this one, but I am going to preface your next take by saying me and you are going to duke it out. Let's go.
So my next take, I think for the value, especially if you play in a super flex, you can do worse with your quarterback forward and Sam Darnold. There was a time, a brief second, where you could see, if you squinted, Sam Darnold being a QB1 in his very early time in Carolina before he got injured. This is possibly his last chance, absolute last chance at a starting job. He only has a 1-year deal, and this year is going to determine whether or not he gets another chance next year. So with the weapons that he have on that team, and not having a defense, he's going to have to slang this ball all over the yard. And that offensive coordinator, I believe in, and I think people. Now, this isn't a 1 QB take. There's no value here. You can pick him up off waivers, but you can do a lot worse. He's going to start 5 games at the least.
Well, I thought you were going to go a lot more than that.
I want you, but that's another show.
No. For this one, you can say the number.
Okay, so I'm thinking he plays 70% of the year. The first 5 games is hard. But if he can go after their bye, if he's not out, he's going to hold on to this job. There may be some footwork issues with McCarthy, and McCarthy is what, 21, 22? He's a young man. So the Vikings know what they have, and we'll know sooner than later during the preseason.
All right, so I'm just going to do this. Jamie, then Jordan, and then me. Go, Jamie.
Oh yeah, Darnold. I'm out. He's in that like Baker Mayfield situation where he does need to prove it, and I don't think he's gonna. There's just no mobility with him. Vikings want to win, so why not put the better quarterback that'll give him a chance to win?
All right, so Jamie, before Jordan goes, I have one question to ask, and I have to ask you this question because Jordan is back. I'm asking you this question because our buddy Jordan down there is back, and I have to do this on the honor of the Fantasy Cheat Sheet. You are on the clock. Are you taking Sam Darnold or Jacoby Brissett?
Oh, give me Brissett, because I think Brissett will probably start more. I don't know.
Jordan, what's funny is, before I let Jordan go, Jordan knew what I was going to ask.
Yeah, good one. That was a good one.
Jordan knew what I was going to ask. So, Jordan, what's your take on Sam Darnold?
So, I'm not out on him. They have the weapons to win right now. Like Jamie said, they want to win. But so, do you go with a rookie quarterback coming from a team that liked to run the ball all the time and was coached by Jim Harbaugh? Like, I don't know if J.J. McCarthy gives them a better chance to win with the weapons than Sam Darnold. We don't know that for sure right now. So I think that he'll have his opportunity. Now he has to take advantage of it. But this is also the same guy that caught mono in New York and was shining in Carolina and then messed up that opportunity by getting hurt. And he's had his share of woes. But if he gets the coach there, Kevin O'Connell, he's a good offensive mind. They have the weapons. I don't see why he couldn't succeed if given the opportunity. And when you have a team full of vets like that, do you want to just throw it to a young QB? I'm not sure. So he'll have that opportunity.
He was seeing ghosts. Remember that?
Yeah.
Y'all remember that one?
Yeah. All right, here we go.
I bet JJ isn't even QB2. How about that?
No. Okay. Now you're done. You were about to get removed. No, hold on.
I wish I could quote who I heard that from.
I saw that too.
Not even QB2.
What do you got, Jordan?
Like the person mentioned, O'Connell can coach up Darnold. We had Josh Dobbs balling out, Nick Mullins balling out, all these other guys. Why couldn't Sam Darnold be productive in this season?
All right, so I'm going on the look. Okay, Reggie hasn't heard this yet, boys. You're getting a preseason Mike's rant of the week that you did not think you were going to get until you just said this. Okay. My QB1, okay, actually, Jordan can back me up on this because Jamie probably doesn't remember. I was actually last year going into the year, remember, saying that if Purdy wasn't 100% healthy, Darnold should be the starter for the 49ers. I was a truther of Darnold. I was circling the bandwagons on another show when Darnold did what he did in Carolina. So I have to preface by saying that. Dave, that is just freaking hilarious. That's all I have to say. Kyle, what is up? How's it going, Kyle? You are the man showing up. Okay, here's my thing. QB1 in the draft obviously was Caleb Williams. QB2 in the draft, Jaden Daniels. My QB3 was JJ frickin' McCarthy, not Drake May. So then they get Sam Darnold. All freaking spring, I was saying, Sam's going to sit the bench. JJ's going to start. Sam's going to sit the bench. JJ's going to start. Sorry, JJ's not going to start the season. But when I looked at things, this was even before we were going to bring this up. I looked at it for other stuff. When I did an article on who you should draft if you're on the clock, Drake May or JJ McCarthy. So when I was looking for the research for that, one of the things I saw was what you brought up, Reggie. And that was the schedule of the first 5 weeks. I do not think that he is going to start the season. I didn't want you to bring up a certain word where we're not going to bring up. But you saying the 70% is why I still wanted you to bring it up, because I do think it's a risky take, but I've seen a lot of people going there, and I've seen media, not just influencers, not just Twitter people, whatever. I personally think that JJ McCarthy should start by week 10. The more and more I think about it, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be close to a 50. Like, I think it should be a 50-50 thing. The more and more I think about it, I don't think it's going to happen, and it drives me nuts. He's got a bright future. I agree, Cruz. He's got a good future. But like you both said, Jordan and Reggie, they want to win now, and that scares me that it's going to be Sam Darnold being the starter if you put investment in trying to have JJ start. Luckily, on the teams that I drafted him, I don't need him to start, so I am okay for Dynasty. He's definitely not going to be – I'm not going to draft him and redraft at all. However, the question is, does this give Sam Darnold another contract on another team later on? And I have a feeling it does. Does he become a starter, or does he fight for another starting job? Could he be the next Gardner Minshew in the sense of just going from team to team, starting job to starting job? That's what I think is going to end up being.
Or Baker.
Or Baker. Sam Darnold, the classic win now option. That is hilarious.
Good one, Kyle.
Darnold would have to be a train wreck, or yeah. All right, so for my first one, we're already at the 45-minute mark, so I'm going to push this. I'm going to give one take on the Detroit Lions. That's David Montgomery. David Montgomery, that running back room in general is you got Gibbs, who is a stud, obviously. Where's it at? Because I had it and now it's gone. Gibbs is going in ECR at. I know where Monty is going. Monty is going at RB21. Gibbs is going at RB4. The only ones ahead of Gibbs is McCaffrey, Bijan, and Breece Hall. I agree that he should go there. I know some people think that JT should be up higher. I know someone on this. There's someone on this show right now that think Kyron Williams should be higher. That guy's name is Jamie. No, but you have 21 is David Montgomery. I disagree with David Montgomery being at 21. Last year, I would have said David Montgomery is too low. I can't believe I am switching my tune, Jordan. I would take Zamir White over David Montgomery. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm taking Zamir White over him. I'm taking Najee Harris over David Montgomery. I'm even taking a guy that me and you just drafted, Jordan. I'm taking Brian Robinson over David Montgomery. That's why when you guys brought up, I wanted to wait and tell you that. That's why when you guys brought up B-Rob in our selection, and I said go for it, whatever you guys want to do, but if you want B-Rob, go for it. I think David Montgomery is going to be more of a complimentary piece. He is not going to be this. I think Gibbs is going to get more work this year, coming on into his second year. Could he still be somewhat of a get some stuff in the goal line? Yes, but I think his touchdowns are going to go down a little bit. His usage is going to go down a little bit. It looks like someone's eating popcorn. So Reggie, why don't you start it off?
It was gummy bears. But
But the way you're eating them was like, I need to talk about this.
I was trying to shut up. That was the opposite. But I like the cheat code of Monty's floor. Has a really safe floor. Yeah. It's dependable. And not this year, but last year I was being able to grab Gibbs and Monty, and I loved it. I can't necessarily do that now, but I that offense, man. Oh, but I can't. You said B-Rob? You said Najee?
I'm taking B-Rob over him this year.
Yeah. I can't go that far with it, but I do agree that his workload is going to be a little less, but I think the touchdown potential is still going to be there. Like Reggie said, in that offense, they don't want to get Gibbs banged up like that. Jamal Williams, who, for all we know, isn't even a good running back, still had opportunities to score a lot of touchdowns. So that opportunity will be there for Montgomery. He just has to stay healthy. A couple of times he hurt himself, and that kind of he could have had a much better season if without those injuries. He got banged up, missed a couple games. So they still believe in him. They still like him. They want to use two running backs, and he'll be the power back to get those touchdown opportunities. All right, I'm not taking Najee Harris over him either. But.
I knew you wanted to take Najee. I wanted to see what you would say about him. I knew we've had this discussion in the past 4 days.
They work well together. Remember D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart? That chemistry they had, I think Carolina, or was it Pittsburgh?
You just went back to like 1960.
Carolina.
Oh, I'm telling my age. I'm sorry.
All right, so I'm going to give my second Detroit Lions take. It's going to be really quick because it's super simple. Jamie, I'm going to have you give a little you get a quick one on that one, and then jump right into your next one, okay?
All right.
Stay away from Jameson Williams. I don't care. I don't believe in the guy. I need to see it. If you can get him super low, that's one thing. If you can get him as low as freaking Jamie got Alexander Madison, that's how the way Jamie feels about Madison last year is the way that I feel about JMO this year. Partly because I used a high pick on him in rookie drafts and he burned me. I'm still scorned. Jamie, why should I be scorned and then go into your next take?
Yeah, no, he's going to be hit or miss. You don't know what week to play him. So if it's best ball, if you can get him super late, fine. But other than that, I'm not going to look at my lineup every week and say, oh, how can I fit Jameson Williams in my lineup? No. So I'm not even drafting him. Not even drafting him. Plus, I think to kind of go off your last one, I think the Lions are going to be running a lot more than they did last year because their defense, they beefed up their defense a lot. So they're going to have more opportunities to like run the ball as opposed to, just trying to run the clock out. So I do like your Monty take.
All right, go ahead with your next.
What was it? The Bears. The Bears. Yeah. Don't draft DeAndre Swift this year. He's going 7th, 8th round.
Hold on, before you go any further,
you are not the person to have this team and this take.
I did not think you were going to go with this take. You cannot just say Roschon Johnson over DeAndre Swift.
No, dude, that's not where I'm going.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Don't draft Swift. He's the RB 20th around that area, right? If you want to double check that, I might be making that up.
He's right after Monty.
Yeah, so around that area, RB 20. There's just so many other running backs in that area that I would rather have as my RB2. Last year, Swift was playing with the best offensive lines, right? And this year, he's going to a bottom 5 offensive line. And if you look at his efficiency numbers, they weren't that great last year. So do you expect him to do better this year with a worse offensive line? No. So I'm out on him. Like I said, there's other running backs in that area I would take. But if you really want to go for it in the 17th round, draft Roschon Johnson, baby.
All right,
you're getting completely free.
No, I'm going to mute you. I'm going to mute you in a second. We told you no. Jordan, go real quick, and then we're gonna go into your next give a take, and we'll go into your next one.
So I agree that you shouldn't. I'm not high on Swift. I know they gave him the money, so that may be indication that he may be worth that price. But the Bears still have Khalil Herbert. Now, if Herbert gets traded or is no longer on the team, I think that'll work. But it ain't because of Roschon. I'm not saying I'm not going that far with it. But I just don't. I think they'll use multiple guys, and I don't know if he'll be trusted with getting that workload that you want to have in a guy that you take and as high as you would have to take to get him.
All right, Jordan. I gave you your team on purpose, and you saved him for your second one. So give me your best. Give me your best one for the Packers because I am interested on this take for you.
So I think I'm gonna say so. Just real quick, like I think all the pass catchers have value. Everybody, I think we talked about a little bit about this last week. Jordan Love is going to spread it around to all those guys. Some weeks you won't know who will be the guy. But I really want to talk about the running backs. I've been trying to quit AJ. I've been trying to quit AJ Dillon since the end of last season. But here we are. I mean, he's at RB 67 right now. He's in the best shape of his life. You get those comments a couple times off season from multiple guys. And Marshawn Lloyd, his first day at training camp was today. He missed 6 practices. Obviously, that's not a huge deal, but a rookie, he's going to have to get up to speed. He's working off to the side. So it just feels like A.J. Dillon isn't going anywhere. He'll be there. It's been in the offense. They still want to give him carries. Josh Jacobs right now is at RB12, I think it is, like behind Achane. I think that's a good spot for him. He's not going to get that Las Vegas workload, but the touchdowns potential is going to be there in a good offense. He's going to be, I think, better than what Jones could have been. In Jones's opportunities with us, I think he can be better than that, or on par with that. And Aaron Jones at his height was a top running back in fantasy when he was healthy. So I think eventually Lloyd takes that second spot from Dillon, but going into the season, I think A.J. Dillon at RB67 gives you good value, as much as I hate to say it, because every opportunity he's had, for last year particularly, he was disappointing, but before that, he showed flashes. But I just want to be out on him, but they're not allowing me to be out on him just yet.
All right, Reggie, what do you think about this one? Because I do have something to actually say.
I don't mind it. I have him on a couple of teams as remnants from last year, and I can't drop him. I don't know. I have an attachment. He knows the offense. I did hear the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
And we all know we were hyped about Lloyd. We were hyped about Vidal. We were hyped about Corum. All that sizzle is starting to fall off these days now that camp has got started. So I don't hate it. It's a good offense. And pass catchers, give me Musgrave. We talked about that last week.
Yes, for sure.
All right, Jamie, I got a question. I'm going, but I have to ask you a question because I don't know if Jordan knows this. Who was my RB1 going into the draft?
Who's your RB1?
Who was my RB1 going into the NFL?
Lloyd. Yeah, the rookie draft.
Rookie draft.
It was Lloyd.
Marshawn Lloyd was my number 1 RB going into the draft. Then he gets drafted by the Packers, and I went, what the? And you know why I said, what the? It's because the guy that you just freaking brought up, Jordan. Freaking A.J. freaking Dillon. I'm not worried. I'm worried about Josh Jacobs taking freaking carries about Lloyd. But the thing that I will bring up about Josh Jacobs is everyone's, they signed him to a 4-year deal, blah, blah, blah. No, they did not. They signed him to 4 one-year deals that they can get out of at any freaking time after the season. This is about A.J. Dillon. You brought A.J. Dillon up, so I'm going to bring it. I agree with you and Reggie. It's hard to quit him in the sense of he's on your team. He's not horrible enough that you can cut him, but he's not good enough that you can even put him in a flex spot.
No.
And the sad part is there's going to be times this year that we're going to think we can start Marshawn Lloyd. I don't know if there's going to be a single week with the healthy with a healthy trio in the backfield. Caught my words. With the healthy trio in the backfield, I don't know if there's going to be a single week that we're going to be like, we can start A.J. Dillon. But guess what? That week that we should have started him, he's going to finish his RB freaking 2 because he's going to have 2 touchdowns because something happened. So, Reggie, what is your next team and what is your take?
We have something in the chat. Kyle said something about Swift catch more passes, but I think that Swift pass blocking isn't as good as somebody else I'm not going to mention. And A.J. Dillon, is that a fact? A.J. Dillon is the only RB on the Packers roster with a receiving touchdown in his career. Can we get a fact check on that?
Yeah. He's a Packers fan, so he's right.
Wow. Good one. Thanks for that. Our next one is, now don't throw nothing up on the set because we have to clean up this when we're done. A wide receiver value on a team not known to run a lot. We talked about the people that we can't quit, and I cannot quit Rashad Bateman having a solid bounce back this year. There's no OBJ. I know they drafted another wide receiver. We know the wide receiver 1 on this team is Mark Andrews, and Flowers is going to be a second. But will anybody ever feel comfortable, like we just said about A.J. Dillon starting Rashad Bateman? They paid the man again. Somebody said like they gave him $2 million. I need to look at that. But they brought him back because they like him. They want him around. Hopefully he's fully healthy. And we all remember when he first came out. Where did he go? To Purdue? How amazing this young man was. I hope he's in there somewhere. He's going to come out and play. Minnesota. Thank you.
Yeah,
so yeah,
Jamie,
and then, where you can get him. Where you can get him.
Jamie, what do you think about Bateman? Because I really don't know where you think.
I can't really quit him either. I got him on a couple dynasties. You can't sell him. You can't drop him. You can't play him.
So he's AJ. So what you're saying is he's AJ Dillon as a wide receiver?
Yeah, pretty much. The only way I was targeting him in the Scott Fish Bowl because I have Lamar Jackson, I have a couple other Baltimore Ravens. So I was like going to throw him on my bench. Maybe he'll crack my lineup once or twice. But he ended up getting sniped from me, and I was actually mad about it because I wanted him. But other than that, no, I'm not really targeting Bateman.
All right, Jordan.
I'm definitely, he's in that same zone for me. You don't want to get rid of him and stuff. But the second receiver always has those weeks with Lamar. I mean, Odell showed flashes at times, and now he's gone. And Bateman's biggest problem has always just been health. If that changes, he can be productive, especially where you getting him.
I think his confidence last year, too, was a problem. He lost a lot of confidence coming back.
Oh, for sure. So for my next one, it is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I was debating which one of these two that I want to bring up. But I am actually going to bring up the tight end situation. I think that Pat Freiermuth is a value beyond belief. Here's the problem, and that everyone gets worried about. Everyone's worried about Arthur freaking Smith. Here's the thing. Arthur Smith, absolutely. I think, how many rants was I on last year about Arthur Smith, Jordan? Arthur Smith sucked as an offensive or as a head coach, but he's not horrible as an OC. Before he was the OC for 3 years in Tennessee, before he got the head coaching job, he was the tight end coach for 6 years. He had Delaney Walker, and then he had Jonnu Smith in Tennessee. He performed there. They have the third most tight end fantasy points and yards as a team, or as points last year with Pitts and Jonnu. Yes, he used Jonnu more than he should have. I get that. He should have used Pitts more. But they don't have another tight end that they should use. You got Darnell Washington, who is basically an offensive lineman wearing a tight end number. Pat Freiermuth right now is ranked 13th overall in tight ends. I think he's going to finish in the low end of the top 10, but he can have spike weeks. As long as his touchdowns keep up, he will be fine. I think I think Pickens is going to be good on the outside. He's the only player on that team besides Pickens with 50 catches or more in a season. It's going to be Pat Fry and Pickens as their 1-2 target. Just like you were talking, Reggie, you got Andrews as the number 1 target in Baltimore, and then you have Zay. It's going to be flipped. I think Pickens is going to be the number 1 target, but the number 2 target is not going to be a wide receiver. I mean, you got Roman Wilson. You got Calvin Austin. I don't even know who else they got. Their third is probably going to – oh, yeah, I forgot. The one and only Van
Quez Watkins, and I could not name another wide receiver on that team. That's it.
Yep. Okay, that's my point. Yeah, exactly. So I just think that Pat Freiermuth is going to be more involved as long as he can stay healthy. Jamie, real quick. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, you're right. I've been drafting a lot of Freiermuth, especially where he's been going. I could see him get at least 5 to maybe 8 targets a game, depending on once you throw it. But like 20% seems about right.
As someone who hates Arthur Smith, that's
I know you do. I know.
One thing he'll be able to do is utilize a tight end. So, yeah, Freiermuth it's going to be good this year.
I don't think he's the type of tight end that can handle volume. I somewhat believe he's a glass house and will only play 12 games, but those 12 games will be epic.
Oh, no, you went that.
I'm not sure why I feel like he has an issue with concussions. I don't know where I pull that from. He just seems.
I think he had one last year. That was his injury last year. He did have a concussion last year. So that could be. I mean, I don't think he's got a concussion problem, but you never know. I mean, Tua didn't have a concussion problem at first either, and then it just became a problem. Everyone, oh, yeah, I forgot. Sorry, Kyle, I have to bring this up because I actually think Scott Miller could be a returner too. So, I mean, you never know with the Pittsburgh Steelers in general what can happen with that team.
Oh, all right. He only had one concussion.
Hey, everyone.
He was out 1 week.
Yeah.
It was his hamstring. He was out for 5 games with a hamstring.
Hamstring, and then
concussion was in 2022, and it was only 1 game.
Oh, was it? Oh,
no, that was his hamstring strain for 5 games.
Okay. Gotcha.
Thanks, Jamie.
All right. Are you guys ready to play a game?
Yeah.
Are you guys ready to play a game? All right. So I have a list. There's 1, 2, 3. Huh?
Live read?
What's up, Rich?
Live read?
Oh, yeah. Duh. Live read. Jamie, you ready? I'm going to add, we're going to.
There we go.
I'm going to wing this one. All right. Sign up for Underdog Fantasy Sports. Use the promo code GF2 in capital letters for all your best ball, prop, higher, lower needs. You can join best ball leagues and tournaments at any time. If you're joining a league, there's a good chance that Jamie is going to be in it. So that is it. Just match up to $100 match. That is promo code GF2, and you will get $100 match on your first deposit.
Is it the $100 or is it the $250 bonus?
Oh, I've never been given that read to read, so I mean it could be 250. I don't know if there's a 250.
I think it said 250 on there.
And it's bonus bucks, yeah.
Okay. Go do it now so you can get more money. All right, so I'm going to have the guys list off players. They're all fantasy relevant. I'm going to go around the horn. Jamie's going to guess, then Jordan, then Reg. If the player's on the list, so this is a certain category, all these players fall under something. For everyone watching, I gave them an example before of like Roma Dunze, Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison, and Trey Benson. If those 4 met it, then the answer could be all players drafted in 2000 in the draft. This is not. It's not like that. These are more. These are more stat based, but for recent years, not. I'm not digging into LaDainian Tomlinson and on. These are current players. All right, Jamie, give me a player, and I will tell you if he's on the list or not.
Dak Prescott.
He is not on the list.
Jordan McCaffrey. CMC.
CMC is one of the ones on the list. So you guys got CMC, 1 player down. Reggie?
DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf is not on the list. Jamie?
St. Brown.
Amon-Ra is on the list. So you have 2 players.
Justin Jefferson.
Not on the list. Surprised me.
Yeah. Okay.
Reggie?
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb is on the list. Jamie? I think Jordan knows what it is. Jamie said Breece Hall?
Yeah.
Not on the list.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill is on the list. Jordan, that's 4. Do you have an idea what it is?
So I'm assuming it's players that average over 20 fantasy points per game or something like that.
You are wrong on the top. You were right, but you're wrong on the top. You're wrong. That could have been true too, but that's not what I put it under.
Oh, okay.
Reggie, do you have a guess? Of not player, but do you have a guess on what the topic is?
players who lead their team in producing fantasy points.
Jamie, do you have a guess?
I have no idea. Led their team in touchdowns.
You want to keep going, or you want me to give it?
Give it.
Yeah,
10 plus touchdowns.
Oh goodness!
Yo, close.
Yeah, we always close.
No, you guys. That's what I'm saying. You guys were like super. All right. Let's see. All right. So I have this one is what. All right. I'm going to give you guys a hint on this one, just so we're not going too stray. These are quarterbacks.
All right.
Jamie, go ahead.
Jacoby Brissett.
Jordan.
If he's on the list, it's the horrible backup quarterbacks. I'm gonna say Purdy.
Not on the list.
Okay.
Go, Reg.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff is on this list. Jamie.
Stroud.
Stroud is on this list.
The best quarterback in the league, my homeboy.
My homeboy absolutely is on this list.
Yeah, I figured.
Reggie.
I'll go Anthony Richardson.
Not on the list.
That's to tell us something, fellas. I took one for the team.
Yeah, I know, but you're smart. You're smart. So right now you got Stroud, Mahomes, and Goff. Jamie, you're up.
Let's try Jordan Love.
I don't remember. No.
No. All right, Josh Allen.
Yes, Josh Allen is on the list. That's 4. So you can do you want to take a guess or do you want to keep going?
We could keep going because
because how is golf in here? I'll go Jalen.
That's what I'm saying. If you got who? Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts is not on the list.
What the?
Jamie?
Dak.
Dak is on the list.
Huh. What the fuck?
Goodness.
And Allen.
So right now you got Mahomes, Stroud, Prescott, Allen, and Goff. Yes, Kyle, you can guess.
Please do, Kyle, because I'm
sure that led the league in pass attempts.
No.
I love that I got you stumped, Jamie. I absolutely love it.
The golf is the one that is the
There's other ones. If you guys guess, it would even screw you up even more.
Not top completion percentage.
No.
Is Tua on here?
Tua is on here.
Oh, I know it.
All right, go ahead.
All quarterbacks who threw for 4,000 yards.
Nope.
Damn it.
Jordan Love, I think.
Didn't, yeah.
If I give you a hint, it'll give it away, so that I'm trying not to.
I think that would be true, though.
Well, yeah, it would be, actually.
Right? Because he didn't say Love, right? Love isn't on this list. I don't have
Love threw for 4,000.
It's not.
Is this right? Highest paid?
No.
Highest paid.
I don't know. I'm lost.
Yeah, it's a tough
I will
one.
tell you, Joe Flacco and Derek Carr are on this list.
Huh?
What?
Oh.
Most interceptions?
Only players to throw for 400 yards?
All players that had a QB 1 week in 2023.
Oh, good.
I would have never gotten
Yeah, I would. Golf had a QB 1. Wait, like number 1?
Yeah, for the week. He finished QB1 for the week last year in 1 week. So did Tua, Daniel Jones in week 2.
Oh, yeah, you set us up. That was a setup, fellas.
Justin Fields in week 5.
I don't know.
We would have never got that.
I was scrambling. I don't know.
Yeah,
I do have more material for next time. Now that you guys did it, hey, I like screwing you. I like playing games like this.
You wizard, you.
Hey, it was fun, and I love the fact it was you 3 versus me, and I got you.
You got us good.
All right, it was a good show. It was good to have the 4-man crew here. Next week we will be doing the AFC and the NFC West. For anyone that wants to know that's watching, I'm going to throw around the horn. Anything you want to say? Sign out. We'll go Reggie, Jordan, then Jamie. Reggie, take it away.
I just want to say, everybody, we almost there. We got a football game coming in less than 48 hours. I'm about ready to explode. Well, we kind of got football coming. So until then, yeah, hold it in. Be kind to others because it's a lot more fun. And we catch y'all next week.
Yeah, Jordan. I'm excited. It's getting closer, like Reggie said. So I'm just looking forward to it. Talking some more football next week. While I watch the Olympics in the meantime.
Oh yeah, so Jamie.
Yeah, man. Just good luck getting ready for your drafts, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, everyone. You guys know where to find me on everything. I don't need to bring it up. You guys know where to find me. You know where to find me on Tuesday nights every week until the season is over. If you are listening and you are in this lovely state of Ohio in the city of Canton in a week and a half, come find me. We'll talk and BS while I'm there. For Reggie, for Jordan,